Hey guys, how's it going?
Yeah.
It's Meera and Min here today with Woken Pretty for you.
Hmm.
And we had a crazy holiday weekend here in the States. I know we were talking about it last week. I'm drained,
Yeah.
drained. I can't even
Fair.
tell you. I could not wake up. My eyes, my body, I had to cancel my workout, guys. This is a big deal. It's a big deal. But I'm back in action. My brain's here now. What got me through? I had a very stress-free holiday for the most part.
Okay.
We talked about how and why. But on Thanksgiving, a friend of mine who was a work acquaintance and then we became closer friends, she actually texted me. I texted her happy Thanksgiving and she said, "You texted me while I was listening to you on Woken
Cute.
Pretty." And I said, "Oh, really? What are you listening to? What
Love this.
episode?"
Yep.
I was like, "The gratitude episode." Thinking it's my brown girl trending because she's a fan of brown girl trending and we've become a little closer because we talk about these podcasting things because when I was starting my podcast she gave me some really great tips because her sister has a podcast. Anyway, big up to Sarah. But she said, "No, I'm listening to Woken Pretty about Matt Rife," which I was floored because this girl did not seem like the type to listen to a Woken Pretty podcast, much less a Matt Rife Woken Pretty podcast.
Okay.
But she said she happened to watch the comedy special last night because it was number 2 on Netflix. What the
Oh,
F?
interesting.
Uh-huh. And she said, "I knew nothing about him or his special. And I was so angered by it and didn't laugh once. I felt validated when you discussed it."
I love
But
that.
wait, here's the crazy part. Sarah, you watched that whole special, girl, and you didn't laugh once and you didn't turn it off. I
Yeah.
give
Why
myself
did you continue watching?
because she was probably outraged because he's a POS. I don't know.
Yeah.
Listen, oh, and by the way, the other comment that I got about this Matt Rife episode, my sister called me this morning. Hopefully she's not listening to this because she was like, "I listened to your Woken Pretty Matt Rife episode." And I said, "Oh, that's the episode you chose to listen to? Because I know you don't listen to all my episodes." And she said, "Yeah, you talked about how I love him and I don't love him." She was totally disengaging from the fact that she's the one who brought him up to me and she's the one who's a fan. She's, "I don't love him. And now everyone's going to think I'm obsessed with him." I was like, "No, I did not say your first name, your last name, where you work, whatever."
Nobody. Yeah. Nobody knows.
Nobody wants it. But my sister who lives in Florida, her name is Rhea. No.
Oh my
But
God.
look, his special was
Hilarious.
number 2, though. His special was number 2, Sarah was saying. You know what?
Okay,
Ew.
hold on. We don't
Ew.
know. First of all, let's go back for a second because I feel like we're giving Matt a little more than he deserves.
Well, we
One, we don't
talking
know
about
the
him.
algorithm. We don't know what the algorithm does within your Netflix, right? Netflix does have what is trending and what is being like. So maybe he's getting a lot of downloads. So maybe people are. I will say this is that I knew that he had a Netflix special, but before I knew about how damaging his Netflix special was, I was ready to like watch it, stream it. So maybe people are now hearing about it and then wanted to see it from themselves.
Yeah.
And that's why it's number 2.
Like I said on our episode of Woken Pretty when we talked about it, no press is bad press because we can hate it, but we're going to go watch it because we want to see what everyone's talking about. I did not watch it. I don't want to. But you know what? Who's to say, and this is as my sister said, who's to say he's not angling himself to be the next Howard Stern, the next Joe Rogan, the next this, because those guys make a lot of money and there's a market for those people and there's not many of them.
Yeah.
Just saying. But yo, the girls made you popular, dummy. And you were not funny before. And you're still not funny. Okay. I don't want to talk about him anymore. um, you know who I do want to talk about?
Uh-oh. KK's?
Yes. I love the Kardashians for the drama. Everyone's like hating on Northwest. Kim did this, I guess it was a TikTok with her and North. And they were like getting ready for Thanksgiving. And then she did a thing with the TikTok and then they were dressed. Everyone was hating on this poor little girl. The girl's 10 years old. One person was like, "Oh, she's so huge. What are you talking about? Oh, I hate her outfits and her mom should dress her age." People, she is dressing her age. She is 40 something years old. She could dress whatever. She was wearing like leggings and a bra tank top, like a bikini top. And then she
Okay.
changed into a white fitted long sleeve dress with big jewelry. And Northwest is what we were in the 90s, the big baggy outfits, the whatever. Girls, people, stop trolling this little girl. It's not appropriate. It's not appropriate. She can do her TikToks. If you don't like it, stop watching it. I don't like when people criticize little girls. I really don't. They're children. Leave them alone. Don't talk about how huge she is. She's not huge. What are you talking about?
Adorable. I mean, I don't watch the show.
I don't watch the show anymore.
I think she's a little comical, in my opinion, because her mom has said this, like Kim has said, she won't lie. So she's very blunt about everything, apparently. So people are mean, man.
I think that I think, first of all, I think Kim Kardashian has her hands full with this little girl. I think she is basically Kanye. I really do. I think she's Kanye in that little body. Like she doesn't hold back. She says what she says. In another clip, and I think we talked about this last week, was when she was trying to teach her daughter to be honest and not annihilate people for just any reason. You could be a tough person, a tough critic, but you don't have to be a jerk about it. And we saw how that turned out when Northie just basically mocked her and criticized her, which the world loved to see. Listen, I say the girl has personality. You love her, you hate her. People used to come at Blue Ivy all the time. She's not cute. She's not like her mom. Leave them alone. They're individual people. They don't want to be compared to their moms. Leave them alone. They're little girls. Look, what are you teaching them? And you expect them, they're role models already for these younger generations. The fact that you're criticizing
not to people, like add to this, but I know that some people are like, oh, she's not as pretty as her mom. But like sometimes it takes a little bit to grow into a quote unquote prettier version of yourself.
It doesn't even matter. They got money. They can make a prettier version of themselves whenever their surgeon is ready. Honey, that does not matter. But we shouldn't have to make them feel like they have to because they're little girls. They're little girls. They should be however they want to be. By people commenting on them, and these girls are seeing this, you're pushing them into doing what you felt. If you were 10 years old being a dummy in the kitchen and doing stuff, now these girls are being dummies in the kitchen and they're taping it. It's not right, but this is the world today. But you criticizing that is not going to help it.
No.
But you know what? You should remember that your little girls are the ones watching her as a role model. Hello, Kylie Jenner became a billionaire because of her generation for literally just being her.
Yeah.
Nobody blinked an eye when she was with Tyga and he was 25 and she was 16 or whatever. Nobody cared.
Whatever. Oh my God, I totally forgot all about that.
Ew, of course we did. Of course we did, yeah, because we were told to by Kris Jenner and her magical powers.
Like I told you, nobody works harder than Kris.
Nobody works harder than Kris, for real.
Nobody works harder.
And she basically pimped her daughter out. Then you will say which one, but whatever.
I already know which one. I didn't need to find out which one. We already know.
Dude, did you hear about that cruise? That 3-year world cruise that was going to happen and it was canceled? Can you imagine being on a boat for 3 years? It's supposed to leave from Istanbul, Turkey. This happened a while ago, but it was supposed to leave from Istanbul and visit 7 continents, 135 countries with 375 ports. And people received news of the cancellation. Oh my God. It was postponed, then relocated, then it was pushed back. And then just 2 weeks before the final departure date, after all of those things, they canceled it altogether. Oh my God. Do you know what the cost was?
What?
Oh my God. It was only $30,000 for an interior cabin. Why would you want an interior cabin if you're going to be in a freaking boat for 3 years?
It's cheaper than renting.
It was $30,000 for a standard interior cabin, all the way up to $109,000 per year for a luxurious suite with a large balcony. So you're thinking $330,000 for living large on a cruise ship. I just don't know if I could do 3 years. Oh God. A world voyage. Would you ever do that?
3 years on a cruise ship?
Ugh. I get sick of it after 4 days. I'm like, oh my God. You're
constantly getting on and off the boat, right?
Huh?
You're constantly getting on and off the boat. There's a lot of ports.
374 times.
There you go.
Yeah, in 3 years though.
Maybe it's enough.
You'll learn a lot. It's like living on a city. You ever saw that movie where you like shrink yourself with Matt Damon and Kristen Wiig, and you shrink yourself and you live large in this like tiny little itty bitty city?
Yes. I haven't seen that, but I've seen Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Oh no, that's different. So this is basically for retirement. If you have, let's say, $500,000, and you're not going to, you and your wife are not gonna, or husband is, you're not gonna basically live large. You're gonna be like scrimping. You
Oh,
can
interesting.
basically, the
What's this
premise
movie
is,
called?
I think it's on Netflix right now, maybe life size. I don't remember, but Niecy Nash basically sold them this package on this miniature city where you go through this process and you like shrink yourself itty bitty, and then you go and you buy the, like, you, everything you purchase before you shrink yourself, and then they put your money in your account and it translates to a lot more because things are so bite sized that you have way more. So he was like a bajillionaire, but then his wife ended up changing her mind, didn't want to do it. I didn't see the movie, guys, so I don't know. But anyway,
Interesting.
yeah. Yeah. But back to the cruise ship. Apparently the CEO, she resigned days before it was like so through. And then they informed the guests that the cruise was canceled. So now they have to refund everybody all of this money. Can you imagine all of the planning and all of the things that went into, how could you have a cruise ship members? Oh my
What
God.
cruise line was this?
Oh my God. It's not one, it's called Life at Sea Cruises.
Oh,
Yeah, it's not like a Royal Caribbean or anything. But can you imagine the crew members that have to be on there for 3 years and serve you for three? Oh, God, everything about this sounds awful. It was owned by Miray International, Miray, Miray. Wow. I can imagine if I made plans for 3 years of my life and then I was like, nope, sorry, go
I
back to
couldn't do
doing
three
what you're
years of my
doing.
life on. Actually, if I was
But
retired,
but
actually,
if
I could
you
do it
did,
now. That would be fun
but if you
because
did
then I'd
three
have
years of your life,
Wi-Fi.
you have Wi-Fi. But if you did 3 years of your life, yeah, exactly. So what if they were like, you think about what you would be doing? You'd give up your apartment. You
That's
plan
fine.
that you're going to go. So let's say they postponed it. They postponed it 2 weeks before you depart. Sorry, man. So now you don't have a place to live. You've already like fixed everything. What do you do? My goodness, people are probably so pissed.
Yeah, probably.
Look, the company seems to have no consideration about what they've done to our lives, the passenger said, adding, I've never imagined I'd be in this position as a senior citizen. I had the next 3 years of my life planned to live an extraordinary life, and now I have nothing. I'm having a hard time moving forward. Aw, I was proud and brave. Now I don't trust anyone.
Oh my gosh, hilarious.
Oh my God, this is very traumatic. Okay. Anyways, that's what happened. That's the news today, guys. Oh, let's talk about Taylor. Look at you just perking up.
Tell me
The
what.
fan that died
Oh,
in
I know. Yeah,
Brazil, her
yeah.
family came to the final Brazil show. Her name was
Oh,
Ana Clara Benavides Machado,
okay.
and she apparently had the family there.
Yeah.
Yeah, she invited them. That makes me sad. That makes me really sad. I don't know if that would make up for her death, but to go and dance and enjoy a Taylor Swift concert, but I guess what else could you do? They had a VIP tent, of course,
Of course.
and they wore matching shirts with her face on it.
Oh, she was just so young. She was like,
Of
what,
course she was.
23? She was a baby.
Yeah, she's a baby. She's
It's very sad. It
oh,
apparently, um, it's just rumors. I haven't confirmed it, but apparently Taylor knew about it hours or an hour before she was supposed to hit the stage that night. And I was like, and
oh.
then she still did it? What?
Well,
Like a
she was
part of me.
about, the girl was about to graduate with a psychology degree next spring.
Oh,
Um, wow, but I guess like they're saying that because Taylor had postponed that particular show because of the heat, the fans were already lined up and they weren't giving them any water or any kind of relief at all. So they just, even though it was postponed because of the heat, people were already there. So they stayed there just longer. So it makes
yeah.
sense how it happened. God, just so ridiculous. Anyways, what else do you have going on in the news, in the pop news world culture?
I don't know. I
Did
don't
you know?
know.
Did you know that Macaulay Culkin is receiving a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame?
Doesn't
As he
he have one?
should. No, he does not
Why?
have
I
one.
thought he already had one. Oh,
He
interesting.
doesn't. But I'm gonna tell you one thing. His brother, Kieran Culkin, I watched him on Succession.
Mm-hmm.
He was the highlight of that show for me. Highlight of that show.
Session.
Oh my God, he was the best character. And he looked just like Macaulay. He was obviously in Home Alone with Macaulay, but
Did you did you have fun at your Black Friday brunch?
Yeah.
What's
There
with
was
the
a little
look?
there was a little bit of drama with the friend
Mm.
group for a minute, revolving around me and an innocent question, which made me not want to go. And I dragged my feet, so I was a little bit late. It ended up working out perfectly fine.
Do you not want to dive into the innocent question?
I would love to, but I can't because I love my friends and I know that some of them listen. But we had a really good time just seeing each other. One friend lives away, and so it's very hard for her when she comes back. I think she gets a lot of FOMO, and our lives go on and we see each other. We don't see each other. But whenever we do things that she's not part of, which is a lot, it's tough for her. And I
Mm-hmm.
get that.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, my life is very difficult right now. So to schedule time to see people, it's very important to me. My time and my scheduling is has to be meticulous. I have to have a babysitter, I have to have people here. So I ended up staying out later than I intended to, mainly because I decided to go for a drink. So my mom and my sister are watching my kid and they ended up leaving. And so my husband took over. But when I got home, most of the house outside was decorated for Christmas because we usually wait till after Thanksgiving. And then my husband, with I think it took him like a day and a half, almost 2 days to do the whole inside and outside. So now our house is basically Christmas threw up because we definitely got more decorations somehow because we go after the
Yeah.
holidays too to see what's on sale. I'll order things. So yeah, it's definitely a kid's dream to be in this house right now.
Amazing. Did you start
Yeah.
Elf on the Shelf?
Not yet. And somebody, I told my friends and they are like, no, oh my God. And I was like, Min said this to me. Guys, it's not that serious. If I'm not going to make a whole spiel of it, I'm literally just going to move the damn thing. It's not going to be like a crazy story every time. It's just,
Hey, listen, there are
he's,
moms out there who just move it as well. You don't need to make it a crazy story every time you at
I'm not
all.
going to. He's 3. He'll need a
We have
crazy
just heard
story.
stories about the moms who like wake up at midnight and they're like, did I move the elf?
Yeah, no, I'm not going to be that mom. What age do they stop believing in Santa? Do you know?
This is a parental choice for you.
But they're going to come home and ask at what, 3rd grade, 4th grade?
Yeah, around that time. You wanted to, in my opinion, and all the other mamas can come at me, but in my opinion, the best thing to do is to have it be organic.
Yeah.
Wait until they come home. They
There's always a
ask
jerk in
questions about
school.
it.
There's always a
Yeah,
jerk
there's
in
always a
school.
jerk. And also, it's a lot harder to. I think that if he, in 3 and 4, you can play it off as no, there's still magic and you can play it off as they're still Santa. By like grade 5, then you need to spill the beans a little bit. But 3 and 4, you can still play off on it. What I did with my kids was I think my son came home. I think my daughter knew and then just knew that her brother was younger, so never really said anything about it. But my son did come home. He must have been in grade 4, and I played it off as in there's still Christmas is still a very magical time of year. Yes, there's no Santa, but the spirit of Santa still lives. This is why you guys still get Santa gifts. They also knew though that for me, they don't get big Santa gifts. Their big presents never came from Santa. Their big presents came from me because I wanted them to appreciate the bigger gifts, knowing that I had to work harder and it wasn't some fictitious person who drops it off at our door. 1. 2, I also didn't want them going to school and telling the other kids that they happen to have gotten a Nintendo, for instance, from Santa, because some parents just aren't as wealthy or wouldn't have done that for their child.
Mm-hmm.
So they got mittens and chocolate and the smaller stuff from Santa. My thing is make it organic. Once he comes home to ask, if you still want to play around with the whole Santa thing, play around with it. And then the next year he asks again.
I was just going to be like, as long as you believe, that's as long as you get presents. So whether you know the truth or not, and you say you believe, you will get presents. Because it's when you stop believing is when it doesn't exist for you. That's literally what I was going to say.
Oh, that's smart. Girl, that's smart. It's funny. It's very Meera.
It's the truth. You don't believe it, then therefore there shall be no presents from Santa. To be fair, though, I always used to do like little Santa presents for my family or like my dog, Santa Joey, when he was alive, because he had a little Santa outfit he used to wear at Christmas. So Santa Joey used to give presents to people. So it was my way of gifting more than one gift, but like cute stuff, like chocolates or whatever. So we would do that. I'm like, wow, where's Santa Joey getting this money?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it'll be fine. He's 3. I don't think it's going to be a huge to do. And if it becomes a huge to do, kids these days learn a lot more earlier. So I'm ready. It's okay. His dad takes care of all the Santa stuff. I don't. I think he gets a lot and he gets enough. So yeah. Yeah. What else? So Kylie Jenner details her morning routine, if anyone cares.
Is it filled with Kylie Jenner products and Kim's facial?
Her friend, Jennifer Lawrence, obviously,
Jennifer Lawrence and Kylie Jenner are friends?
apparently, I guess Jennifer Lawrence interviewed her for Interview Magazine about how she balances motherhood and fame. Actually, did you see that Jennifer Lawrence movie on Netflix?
Which one?
Oh my God, I cannot remember the name. Why can't I remember the name? It was
Is
so.
it the romantic comedy one?
It's where she basically gets hired to like.
It's like Catch and Release,
I don't
or
know.
I don't think it's called Catch and Release, but it's basically Matthew McConaughey did a movie like that years ago. It's the same kind of concept.
What's the concept?
His parents hire Sarah Jessica Parker to get
Oh
their son out of there.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It was so funny because I didn't it's called No Hard Feelings.
That's it.
Yeah, I didn't
I haven't seen it
expect
yet.
it. Oh, no, I can't talk about it.
I will
But
watch it tonight. And you
I
can
say
tell me about
watch it. I didn't know what to expect, but my friend the one who moved from New York to Florida, I kept seeing her the entire time up until a certain point in the movie because she lived in Long Island, just like Jennifer Lawrence in the movie did. And she was like, oh, all the people come in, all the New Yorkers or city folks come in the summer and make it crazy. And we work for them. And then now they decided to live here and we have to still serve them. It's this whole thing of how they're changing the landscape because she can't afford to live in her parents' house and all that stuff because everybody wants her land because it's prime property or prime real estate. And she's a purist. She wants to keep it. So my friend is like that. And I was like texting my friend sharing this. And I was like, this is you, Maluka, this is you. But then at some point, it definitely didn't become her. There was a scene with Jennifer Lawrence and some yuppie kids. And I won't tell you anymore because I'm going to ruin it, but it made me laugh out loud so hard. All I have to say is, and I'm probably going to ruin it by saying this, there was a nudity scene.
Okay.
And it was Jennifer Lawrence. It was all her. It was not a body double.
Damn, good
at
for
all.
you, Jennifer.
Good for you, Jennifer. But there was a lot of situations down there. And so it was a conversation at our brunch tea thing on Friday about how much Bush is too much. Yeah. Moving on.
Part of me wants to talk about it, not like aside from like Jennifer Lawrence, but
Let's just say at this tea time, I have one male friend that was there, but he's like a girl anyway. It don't matter. Everyone was talking about what their situation is, which we're all friends for 20 something years. We all know. But we were comparing it to Jennifer Lawrence, basically. This conversation has become so interesting, guys. We know you come here for the news about celebrities, but now you learn about Jennifer Lawrence.
I am the kind of person that like, this is a personal preference for me. And this has nothing to do with what your partner like. This is strictly, girl, if you don't want to shave down there, then shave. If you refuse to shave down there and you only wax and there is just some weeks that it's just not where you'd like it to be, cool, do you.
But what would you do if you were going to be in a movie forever naked?
Love my body.
No, but like, what choice would you
hair?
What choice would you make in terms of what you want that to look like?
Hold on. Are we saying though that this was Jennifer Lawrence's call or was this director call?
I don't know. I didn't ask. It's just her body. That's all I know.
So maybe this was a director call and Jennifer Lawrence had nothing to say about it.
I would hope that he wouldn't
Jennifer
be
Lawrence
like,
doesn't seem like that kind of girl, in my opinion. I feel like she would say something.
Isn't
but
she
also
from
maybe
Kentucky?
she's taking a stance. Maybe she's making a stance in the fact that women shouldn't have to always see Helga the waxer and be in pain for a half hour. Maybe I don't know. Either way, good for Jennifer Lawrence.
Listen, nothing wrong with it, but I didn't expect the gratuitous nudity scene, which most people say was not necessary. I say it made that shit funny as hell.
Amazing.
It was just so unexpected. I was like, whoa. And then what happened? I was like, oh, okay. It was just so funny. I thought that part was the funniest part. Anyway, did you know JLo's releasing a new album? It's called This Is Me Now. Thanks, Ben.
This woman is doing everything to stay relevant.
Good for her.
Everything.
Listen, I can't blame her. The girl can't sing, but yet she's a singer.
She, can't-
She's 54. She
she looks
looks
bomb. I
she
will say
looks
this.
beyond bomb. Like
Every time I see her, every time I'm just like, that your body, how you look, that's how I aspire to look at that age.
I aspire to look like that now. I wish.
She's
I
so
mean, Jennifer
beautiful.
Lopez. Listen, this is 20 years after Ben Affleck. Remember, she had This Is Me Then or whatever album, and then it was her Ben years, and now she's with him again. There was this TikTok that came out, or this video of them coming out of a car, and he literally just walked out and just walked past her
Yes.
because he was annoyed. Did you see it? The boy was still holding her coat, though. He's still holding his.
I saw that. A part
He
of me
didn't
was
look like
like,
he was having a rough moment. I'm not gonna lie.
listen, I'm going to say this, and you can come at me or not, but I feel like their relationship is a cautionary tale. I feel like she should have left it in the past. I don't think they're good for each other.
Who's good for her though? Come on.
She's 54.
Diddy? Diddy?
Oh,
Did we even talk about Diddy and the allegations? We have not even talked about him and the allegations from Cassie and 2 other women. It is horrifying. Jennifer Lopez, you got out when you could, girl, because you saw the writing on the wall. Good for you. Good for you. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
It's horrifying. But she got settled. She got her 30 mil plus. I don't think that's going to be, she's moved on. She has a husband. She has 2 kids now. Like she got her stuff going on, but that's a horrifying time in your life if you were held captive like that in fear. Like, my God, Cassie, I believe it. I believe it. Oh, makes me so sad. But also, he's still around. He's still doing it to other people.
I guess so.
What do you, just hearing about it is horrible.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, that's all we have for today, guys. It is a time of shopping. We just bought Rockettes Holiday Spectacular tickets.
Ooh.
For our kid. We do it every year. Yeah. We're going. We're going. And that's it. Thanks for joining us today. We went all over the board, but that's your celebrity news today.
Yes.
Follow us on social, Woke Pretty Podcast, and obviously follow this podcast so you don't miss a second of us ranting and raving about things that we love.
Yeah.
And do us a favor and review our podcast if you can, or share it with a friend. And we'll talk to you tomorrow because we're here Monday to Friday. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Remember, you're the heartbeat of our podcast. Your support, your comments, and your enthusiasm keeps us fired up and ready to bring you more pop culture goodness each week. If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss a moment of action. We'd love to hear your thoughts, suggestions, and even your own pop culture discoveries.
Connect with us on social media at Woke and Pretty Podcast on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok.